watched was The Sinking of the Lusitania by Winsor McCay, which is wild.
It is pretty wild for a couple of reasons. I mean, the usual kind of reason of Winsor McCay animation being very elaborate, like
Yeah.
crazy how I don't know, it is both. I feel like his animation is both uh kind of you can kind of see the seams of it a little bit more than like later animation. I'm thinking of the like 1940s and 50s, I guess.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like I don't know, the scope of it is really impressive.
This is some of the most lavish animation I've ever seen.
Yeah. And I think it's like he hasn't figured out the usual shortcuts that they found out in animation later. It's like, oh, we can do this and like we can do like 4 frames and repeat them and it'll look fine. Whereas he's individually drawing every single frame. And so
Yeah.
the motion is like incredibly smooth, but it is also you can really kind of see that they're like individual drawings, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of see the yeah, you can see behind the technique of it a little bit more, I think, than later animation.
Well, you say that, but apparently, something that I read is that Winsor McCay pioneered the idea of looping animation, and it's just that he didn't use it as much as other people would have.
Yeah.
He got some of his buddies to animate the water, I believe, in this, and the water was a looping animation. But
Still, I mean, the fact that the water is animated to the degree that it is, either way, if it's looping or
Yeah.
not, it's still like, holy mackerel, this is really a lot.
So, like, true to the name, this is about the 1915 sinking of the Lusitania, which we talked about a few episodes ago. But the Germans torpedoed a civilian ship, and McKay was very mad about it. But William Randolph Hearst, who owned Winsor McCay, as far as
I own you.
I'm sure he said that at some
He
point.
probably did. Is the thing.
You know, for working at his newspapers, he wasn't. Hearst wasn't about America joining World War I, and so he forced Winsor McCay to draw anti-war and anti-British cartoons, like editorial cartoons for the papers. But McCay was so like pro World War One. On his own time and with his own money, he made this movie by himself with a little assistance from some artist buds, and it took him 22 months to make this. And this was also, you're talking about these time-saving measures. He did adapt one of them, which is that this was his first movie to use cells, animation cells instead of like rice paper, which so he was individually redoing every background for every shot in his earlier films.
Insanity.
This also has his like whole like framing device that he loves to do again.
Right. It is, I think, and it's another one of those things where we don't even think about how early this is, where it's like old cartoons feel they need to explain what animation is, lest the audience's mind be too blown. It's like, it's just drawings. Like, here's how we did it.
Don't freak out.
Yeah, like up front, they're like, this is a bunch of drawings that we put together and it looks like it's moving. Like, that's what you're seeing.
I can't tell if it's that or if it's like Winsor McCay trying to like hype himself up. You know?
I think it might be a bit of both, of being like,
Yeah.
look how much work this was.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's also a part of it, but I find that very interesting of just watching like the early animation that we've watched, and it's always sort of in some sort of framing device of like, here's a guy drawing all the drawings, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, it's, you know, from a modern perspective, it's like, yeah, I know what animation is, but they didn't back then because it was a new thing. This I was talking about in Soldier Arms. I feel like it functions as kind of World War I propaganda, but it also it doesn't feel overtly propagandistic, if that's a word, which I don't think it is.
No, it is.
Sure. Whereas Singing of Lusitania very much does. It is very propaganda-y, which is not a word.
That one's not. No.
It's really hitting you hard in the face with like, the Germans are terrible. Look
Yeah.
at what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, besides all the other stuff about this movie, it is like very propagandistic, including like a sort of ending title card.
That
You
I
know,
wrote that
after it,
down because it is
yeah,
wild.
yeah. um, uh, I mean, it shows you just all of this like suffering and horror through the whole short, and then it says the man who fired the shot was decorated for it by the Kaiser, all caps, and yet they tell us not to hate the Hun. Uh,
Also, just like there's something so kind of, I guess, archaic about the word the Hun. It really kind of
yeah.
couches this in like the time period.
Also, every time I see it, I have to like think like, is this racist? I'm not sure. You know?
I mean, I think it was back then. I think it's almost so archaic now that it is like, it's like, wait, what? Like, what are you even talking about? There's a lot of things in these old silent movies. I'm like, I know this is a little racist, but I don't know exactly how racist it is.
Remember when we were kind of shocked by how unracist stuff was in the beginning, and that's starting
Yeah.
to not be the case so much anymore.
Yeah, it's they started to really kind of let their, let their flag fly a little bit more. I think
Thanks, DW.
these old timey filmmakers. Yeah, that honestly that probably did not help. It for sure did not. But yeah, very good animation, very heavy propaganda from
Yeah.
the time period, but worth watching either way. Like,
I think so, especially. I mean, I've actually seen this one before in an animation class that I took, and seeing it again just as a work of animation is kind of amazing. There are camera angles that I don't know.
there's
That
like moving
like
objects where it's like things that I know are very difficult to do in animation of like
yeah,
cameras moving around objects, moving cameras. It's like a lot of that is in here.
yeah. It's very showy. Like they're like really. It's also like pretty horrific too. You're seeing like death and like people falling off the falling off the boat into the water and people drowning. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is very much designed to make you upset and to like get an emotional reaction out of the audience, I think.